Every once in a while, Netflix gifts me with a 30-day free trial of its service. I take it when I have time, I watch as many movies as I can, and then I cancel. Because I'm incredibly cheap. For a while now, I've had the idea of doing a video series, 30 Days of Netflix, where I take one of those free trials and I watch a movie every day and I share my thoughts with you fine folks, because everyone cares what I think. I did something kind of like that last year. I had a 2-week free trial of Hulu. I only got 4 videos out of it, though, because I had a nightmare of a time finding anything worth watching on that service, but I'll link those videos in case you want to watch them. So, here we go. Day 1 of 30 Days of Netflix. First on the docket, Citizen Kane. Because I've never seen it, sadly, and I'd really, really like to. I hear tell it's good. Unfortunately, Citizen Kane is not on Netflix service, so I can't watch that. Instead, I will be watching a movie I've never heard of. A movie I know absolutely nothing about, save for its title. Bring Me the Head of the Machine Gun Woman. How can you not want to watch a movie with that title? At first I thought, is this a sequel to Machine Gun Girl, a Japanese film from a few years back, but that was Machine Gun Girl, and unless she grew up, this is Machine Gun Woman, so probably not related. Don't even know if it's a Japanese movie or American. Could be a black and white French art film, for all I know. All I know is it better have a woman with a machine gun, or maybe it's a literal machine gun woman, like an anthropomorphized machine gun that waddles around. And some mob boss is like, bring me the head of the machine gun woman. And the henchmen are like, which part is the head? And the mob boss says, the part with the big googly Disney eyes, you fool. Go get it. That would be awesome. That's probably not what this movie is. It's probably a woman with a machine gun and someone's after her head. Whether they succeed or not, it depends on if she's the protagonist or if she's like the villain. Being that the title is Bring Me the Head of the Machine Gun Woman, it's probably like Marion Crane in Psycho. You know, she screwed someone over and they're after her, or, someone she knows, her significant other, screwed over the mob and they kill that person and then the entire family of which she's a part, and she's the last one, but she has a machine gun. Or maybe it's a really boring film. So, let's find out. Well, it's not a sequel to Machine Gun Girl. It takes place in Chile, so I'm guessing that's where it was shot. And it's Spanish, but Spanish that I've never heard before. Everything is pronounced really differently than I'm used to. Never been to Chile, so in fact, I don't think I know anybody from Chile, so I've never quite heard Spanish like that before. Interesting. The movie doesn't know what the heck it wants to be. It starts out as a Grindhouse-esque, the Tarantino Rodriguez film from 10 so years ago, that mimicked 70s exploitation flicks. The company logo comes up, and there's mimicked film grain and tears and splotches, like someone unspooled the entire reel of film and dumped a vacuum cleaner bag all over it. It's that dirty. I'm like, okay, we're doing the Grindhouse thing. And it opens up in a convenience store, and it's shot on digital, but it's incredibly film grained, scratches all over the place, flickers. And you have the titular machine gun woman walk into a mini mart and throw off her overcoat, and she's wearing leather underwear, and she shoots a guy, and then a one-man band person comes in, and that's an assassin too, and she shoots that guy, and straddles one guy who got shot and licks him in the face because why not? And then shoots him in the face point blank range and digital blood splatter that doesn't hit her at all. And then it goes to a driving sequence, and it's obvious that they're following along in another car because the camera's jostling all over, and the music is pretty representative of 70s era funk. You know, the soundtrack you'd hear in that era of exploitation film. And then they completely drop that. It's like 5 minutes into the movie, they just change their mind and go, you know what, we're not going to do Grindhouse. We're going to make this Grand Theft Auto the movie. Literally. The movie is, every time a character is introduced, and to be fair, this does happen before they completely drop all the film grain stuff. Each character has a title and a like a market bounty. You know, it's like Larry, you know, 80 million pesos, or whatever the local currency is. I think I remember them saying pesos, so. Weird. Now, it's not like Grand Theft Auto really does that, but they use a Grand Theft Auto type font, and throughout the movie there's a Mission 1, go get this guy. And then once the scene is over, it's like, mission complete, and there's a few mission failures. So there are a lot of video game title cards, and that's the only thing they really do with it until the very end of the movie, where he goes in guns, where the title character, not the machine gun woman, but some other doofus that we follow throughout the movie, goes in a guns blazing, and they keep a little score dollar every time he shoots someone. It's bing, and the dollar counter goes up. And it goes into a first-person mode, like in the Doom movie, where there's that whole sequence that's done in first person. They do some of that there. And it's like they shot the movie sequentially and started out doing a exploitation, faux exploitation film like Grindhouse, and they said, no, let's do kind of an homage to Grand Theft Auto. And then on the last reel, they're like, let's go totally video game with this. So, the machine gun woman is a bounty hunter. Basic plot of the film. Some doofus is a DJ at a club that a mob boss runs. And he's in the toilet doing his thing, and the mob boss comes into he doesn't realize he's in the stall, although you think they do the check to see if there's any feet under the stalls. And they say, we need to, kill the machine gun woman because she keeps killing our guys. And they're like, wait a minute, we didn't check the stalls. Oh, there's that goofball in there. We're going to kill you now because you overheard us. And he says, no, I can get her because I remember her. Either I missed something, or it's not clear how he knows that the girl he saw one time in a club is the machine gun woman. I don't know. So he says, all right, you have 24 hours to bring me the head of the machine gun woman. So the movie is about this goofball trying to track down the machine gun woman and bring her in. I have to hand it to the actor. He commits. None of the acting in this is really that great. None of the acting is great. But the lead actor, he commits. I'll give him that. He's actually not too bad to follow along. Some of the characters... Would I recommend the movie? No. But there are individual moments that actually do work. I'll give you an example. The mobster guy has two guys tailing him all over the place so he doesn't go to the cops, so he doesn't run, to make sure that he's, tracking down does what he says he's going to do. And this is just a goofball kid that is tasked with hunting down and killing the most notorious bounty hunter out there. And so at one point, he gets out of his car, turns around, walks to the two mafia gang member guys that are tailing him, walks up to their car and goes, "Hey guys, can I borrow a gun?" Because he doesn't have a gun. He's some dumb kid who just plays video games. All he knows about games is, Grand Theft Auto. And the scene actually really, and the two laugh at him and they're like, "No, we're not giving you a gun. Look, there's a gun shop at the corner of 5th and Main or whatever. You can buy guns and Molotov cocktails and things there." It's like, "Great, thanks." And so he actually goes to the gun store and tries to buy a gun, and the clerk says, "Do you have a permit?" And he goes, "No." "Well, how do you expect me to sell you a gun if you have no permit?" And he ends up buying a pellet gun, which he has no idea how to use or even load. So there are moments that are actually quirky enough and work. It's kind of like The Hobbit 3, the Battle of the Five Armies. Doesn't really... Odd comparing these two, right? Neither of them really work as a full film, but both of them consist of a number of really cool moments. I would argue that A Battle of the Five Armies has more than the Machine Gun Woman movie, but I was afraid at the beginning of the movie that most of the gore would be digital. It looks like the gore is digital when they're in an interior location, like they got permission to shoot inside a mini mart, but they didn't get permission to spill fake blood all over the place. A lot of the violence takes place outside, so a lot of the gunshots and squibs and stuff actually ends up being practical effects, which I'm always appreciative of. Very little gore, mostly bullet hits and things like that. The Machine Gun Woman is not the bad guy or the protagonist. She's almost the MacGuffin of the movie. She is there. The actress has really nothing to do except walk around in leather underwear, which she pulls off with aplomb. Yeah, really not much more to say with it about this film. The kid kind of lucks out into tracking her down and ends up witnessing at least two people kind of brutally murdered. And each time he's... actually, there's three that I can think of, so at least three. He's hiding behind a wall or something, and someone's, "No, please," and I'm getting killed in a really spectacularly gory and bloody fashion. Well, not spectacularly gory, but one guy gets his insides yanked out through his anus with a dipstick, the thing that you check oil in a car with. I'm not sure why the guy who killed him happened to have this thing on him, but he did, and stuffed it up his rear end and then yanked it out, pulling a nice stream of gooey bits with it, which was pretty neat. But anyway, he's cowering behind a wall, but there's a gun that fell right there, and he's like... And you think, oh, he's going to grab the gun and save the day. Nope. And there's another person who's being beat with a belt, and he's standing behind a wall, and he's like, "I could save her." And the person with the belt, takes his spur off his boot and ties it to the end of the belt and, wham! And nearly cuts this person in half. The blood spray makes it look like that, but when you see her later, she's just... But he doesn't save her either. And at first I was like, well, this makes this character kind of not a fun hero to follow, because he's lame, he's cowardly, he doesn't save anybody. But then I think, that's actually kind of realistic. I think most of us who aren't actual action heroes in real life would probably just stay frightened and hiding behind a corner. So in a way it's frustrating because that's not... And he except for the very end of the movie, he never really overcomes that. There's just a lot of those scenes where he could try to help, and he, to be fair, probably would have been killed in the process, but doesn't. And I'm kind of torn between not liking the character and finding that somewhat refreshing. So, no, I wouldn't really recommend this movie. There are better schlocky films out there. I was never really bored, and it's fairly short. I think it's less than 80 minutes. So, that's it for day one of 30 Days of Netflix. We're off to a good start. So, what will I watch tomorrow? I have absolutely no idea, but you will know because I'll let you know in the outro credit card thing for this video.